I'm Joree Ruiz, and I'm a physician assistant at Children's Wisconsin.
Children's Wisconsin. That's great. And so we were just talking, we were doing a little bit of training today on the new Fischer iontophoresis device, talking about some differences between modern iontophoresis, traditional setups. But what I wanted to talk to Joree today about was just hyperhidrosis in general. So her work with patients, what are some recent stories maybe she's heard? And ultimately, what is it that for a lot of patients gets them to finally seek help after they've lived with this condition, maybe their entire lives?
Yeah, absolutely. I am lucky to be able to take care of not only children, but I also do see some adults with hyperhidrosis. I have kids that come in, as young as early childhood when they first start going to school, having trouble with things where their teachers say that they're not gripping their writing utensils properly, or they're having trouble with holding scissors. So parents will come, even though the child at that point is probably not really bothered by it.
Right.
The parents and the teachers are concerned about them developing their school skills. So I have patients coming in seeking treatment for that.
That's nice that there's at least that communication between teachers and parents and you, because I do find that that is a kind of a crucial aspect to this, is someone identifying something and kind of raising their hand. Because I think
Yeah,
it's way too easy, parents especially, to sometimes almost to not be able to, you have blinders on, right? And
right.
kids aren't always that comfortable talking to their parents about some of these things. And so it's great when teachers can identify some of these things and talk to parents. So do you find from your experience, it's a lot of times teachers talking to parents, or is it parents maybe going to the teachers to help identify things together? What would you say?
I think I've heard it both ways. Usually for the younger kids, it's more that the teachers are bringing it up to the parents. The second probably peak time where I see people coming in is early adolescence. So kids start to become aware of their issues, whether it be something to do with sports or shaking someone's hand or giving a high five. They start to feel more self-conscious, and then many times it's the kids asking the parents, like, I need to do something about this, and then they come to dermatology.
Right. Yeah. And I think it's one of those things, as soon as something's taken away from you, right, whether it's a sport, whether it's a relationship or friendship, and, being a kid is tough enough
Yeah.
without having to deal with this. Now during COVID, everyone is kind of at home more. I know schools are kind of starting to reopen and things, but still
Yeah.
many people are still at home. If you could give any advice to any parents out there about maybe, what to look out for now that they're almost in that teacher's role, right? What are some signs that they can look out for from their kids that may be a symptom of hyperhidrosis?
A lot of times I'll hear people notice that as the kids are writing, they may be smudging, either things that they've been writing with pencil, writing down tests. Sometimes even artwork can get smudged. The other thing that we'll notice is that kids will be wiping their hands on their pants. So they'll be,
Mhm.
writing and then having to wipe their hands on their pants. So, those can be a sign that, they are being affected by their excessive sweating.
Right. Yeah, that's a great one. And now, how about in terms of educational content? So, when you do talk to a parent or you talk to, a child patient, what are some things or some places that you reference or direct them to where they can kind of, learn more?
So I often recommend that they go to the International Hyperhidrosis website, sweathelp.org. They have great information there. I like the fact that they have information geared towards health professionals, but also to kids and to families. I think it's a great resource. I tell people to be careful about what you read on the internet, because you can look
Right.
at the condition and you can hear all kinds of stuff, and it's really important to go to a reputable website. So sweathelp.org is usually where I recommend they go.
Very nice. Yeah. I also always encourage patients to, go online. You'd be surprised at how many social media and support groups there are out there for people with hyperhidrosis. And it's, maybe it's not about going and seeking advice, right? Because you definitely want to make sure you're talking to the medical professionals and those reputable sources. But I
Yeah.
find those support groups can often be very beneficial for patients just identify that they're not alone. I talk to patients every single day, and I think, one of the first things we talk about is that idea of this is not just a you problem. This
Yeah.
is not even a very small number of people problem. This is a very large problem with a very large percentage of people who struggle with this. And it's just often not spoken about. And so that's where people don't know, and maybe it's misinformation from an early age where they were told, oh, it's just clammy hands. Your grandma had that, you'll be fine. Or it's just anxiety, you'll grow out of it, and those things. And it's almost a snowball to where you develop anxiety because you're taking anxiety medications that aren't helping with the sweating. And then why is that? And it's a vicious cycle. And so, it's nice to go to some of these support groups and just hear other people's stories and go, you know what, I've experienced that, to realize you're not alone and to not give up hope. So even if you're a patient and if you're listening to this and you've tried wipes, creams, the oral medications, and you've talked to dermatologists for years and no one's ever talked to you about something that fit for you, keep seeking out help, keep looking up answers, do your own research, go to those websites like, Joree mentioned, IHHS, talk to your doctor, find a new doctor if you're not happy with the answers you're getting, because there are definitely solutions out there and more than ever for hyperhidrosis patients, which is nice.
I definitely agree.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for joining me today, Joree. I very much enjoyed our training session too. If you or anyone in your office, any patients ever have any questions, again, feel free to contact us, rafischer.com. Every patient we mentioned that you refer to us is assigned to a personal treatment specialist who really serves as that patient's single point of contact for any question, looking into insurance, filing prior auths. And so let us know how we can help, and we look forward to, continuing to serve your patients.
Thank you so much, Dan. I really appreciate it.
All right, Joree, you have a great rest of your day.